pretty tongue-twisted today because it's so extremely warm in the studio that my mouth goes dry very quick. And every time I'm like, blah, 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 can't talk. So you're going to have to save me every now and then, Ben.
I'll do my very best, Kev. You've already bailed me out a couple times.
You're suffering from the same conditions as I am.
Yeah, it's rough.
But you're the older man, Ben. You're supposed to hold it down when I'm falling apart.
Man. You kidding me? In the south where I'm from, this is like a cool day in January.
This is the type of day that you would go to the ice track, that you would go like play curling.
Yeah, exactly, exactly. Have you ever played curling?
No.
I've always wondered about this because, like, in the South, like, we make fun of curling because it's the silliest thing I've ever seen. You roll this rock and then you sweep the ice in front of it. What the hell?
Like, it looks so silly. Like, does it really matter that much? How much like you sweep the ice a little bit?
Like, what is your job if you're a professional sweeper on a curling team?
I wonder how much money they make. Imagine like sick money they make.
Do you think in the off season they practice by being janitors? It's like he works at a school and he like slides down the school in his socks while sweeping the floor.
I have no idea.
I like to think.
What do you think makes more money, the guy who throws the curling or the guy who scrapes the ice? How cool would it be if like the ice scraper actually makes way more?
You know, it's the guy that does the shooting.
Yeah. But still, it would be cool.
But like when I think of Olympic athletes, like I want to be an Olympian. I think I can make it as a sweeper.
I don't think you look very good on skates, man.
They don't wear skates though. They wear shoes.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, they have these awesome shoes, right? The coolest shoes of all time. Yeah, that's so right.
So I could really see myself as an Olympic sweeper.
I can see myself as an Olympic gamer, Ben. I think that's all I will ever do at the Olympics. You know that back then in Warcraft 3 times, Moon, like who plays with Fnatic right now, and also Sky, the best human player in the world, carried the Olympic torch through the streets of Beijing.
What?
Yeah, they carried the torch.
Man.
Yeah, that's cool, man.
China loves their gamers.
Yep, they do. Cybernetics core being wiped in on both sides, of course, so no crazy proxies or anything like that. We see both players taking a second guess fairly quick. I mean, TT1 did not scout yet, so that's kind of surprised me. He's going to wipe in his second gate. So he's going for the same opening as we saw on dual side. As we mentioned before, TT1 must not be in the best mindset right now. This was a super important best of 3 for him, and everything worked out for him in the start at dual side. There was really no need for him to lose that game. He killed off 2-3 stalkers, he picked off a pylon, he came well ahead out of the opening phase, he had a better ID, his robo was much quicker. It's insane that he ended up losing that game. I didn't even mind his idea of the one base Colossus push ban. I don't think that was necessarily the wrong choice. And as I also said in game, I like the choice of NightEnd going for that War Prism robo, because I felt that was one of the only few ways he was still going to come back into that game.
At the end of the day, NightEnd just outplayed TT1 a little bit near the end.
Which surprised me too. Because I think NightEnd is a great player, no doubt, and I know that he's practicing Korea and he's doing very well on the Korean ladder, beating a lot of Grandmaster League Korean players. But still, I don't think that NightEnd is necessarily better than TT1.
Yeah, I don't think so either. I think they're pretty evenly matched, honestly. TT1 really is a fantastic North American player. I think he's underrated.
I think so too.
And I wouldn't have said that 6 months ago, but after watching his games in the NASL this season, he really has, in my opinion, proven himself.
Do you notice what I noticed straight away, Ben, when I watched NightEnd his mirror, is he draws pylons around the map so extremely quick. He sends out one of his first probes and then already starts building pylons. On dual side he had 2 pylons, right now he already has 1 as well. He's going to end up losing this probe, and I would say that TT1 should be able to scout this pylon really easily.
Straight to it and does pick it off, so unfortunate loss. I love still that NightEnd does this though, and I agree
I like it too, but I think this is a little bit too early. Oh, I love the scout here by TT1, man. This is such a good scout. Ends up losing that probe, but now he did see where those 3 stalkers was, and he did know there was nothing to worry about straight away. NightEnd is going to switch it up this game, Ben. He's going to get a Twilight Council and a Robotics facility, so we're going to see both the Blink Stalkers and the Observer. I love that.
Yep, one of the best builds on this map. Antiga, one of the maps with... We always talk about the surface area, the amount of space that you can blink up into the base. NightEnd doing a really good job denying TT1 scouting. Picks off another probe trying to sneak out. And that's going to mean TT1 is completely in the dark.
Well, TT1 is getting a super quick robo bay, which I don't think is necessarily the best decision. Of course, he can't really do anything about it right now. NightEnd, please don't tell me you're going to run up that ramp again. Just want to bait it to voice field. I do think that's a good move.
One more step forward and it would have been a bad move. But as it worked out, nicely done. Forces TT1 to spend some of that valuable energy.
And I think TT1 is going to try to win this game on one baseband with a lot of gates and one Colossus, but I think that might actually be the wrong choice of strategy, because as we can see, NightEnd is not expanding yet. He might be expanding soon, but he can still cancel that if he knows what's going on. And with one base, are you going to expand right now, NightEnd?
Yeah, with the Blink Obs, he's going to be able to...
yeah, it's like a dream scenario.
Yeah.
You love playing Blink Ops against a one-base robo player.
Yeah. It's a mobility thing, and I do think that in the game of StarCraft, mobility is the most important, what can we call it? Statistic for stat? Most important feature of a unit?
Yeah, feature. I could live with future. Future makes sense. Both observers are finding each other right now. I'm not sure if TT1 got that really great scout of no. He actually never made his way into that base of NightEnd, so he's still not completely aware of the fact that he's playing against Blink, and TT1 is already moving outband with Colossus. Of course, NightEnd is still going to have to control things well. He's going to pick up this pylon, he's going to pick up this probe. What are you doing, TT1? It's never going to go up. It's just a waste of money.
Yeah, forced to cancel there. The army is moving out, though, and if you can trap these stalkers, that could be...
Now NightEnd is getting 2 more bases.
Okay, so NightEnd defending like this is maybe working into TT1's favor.
Yeah, I agree. This is better for TT1 than it would have been if NightEnd was over here with his stalkers and Blink in the main base already pick off 10, 15 probes, because then you take the real reinforcements power out of this. And look at this, TT1 knows what's going on. He knows that he's playing against Blink stalkers, and he knows that perhaps it's not the best idea to push right now with only 1 Colossus, without thermal lens, and just not a super strong army. Like, if you guys wonder right now, like, what did TT1 hope for? What TT1 hoped for is very simple. He hoped for a Sentry Immortal expand. This push comes super quick. It's 1 Colossus, no thermal lens. So all he wants to do is drop a few force fields. That's why TT1 has sentries as well. Zone out those 2 or 3 immortals, then just let the Colossus clean up the Zealot wars, and then warp in the reinforcements from 4 gates, most likely. He does have 4 gates, right? Yep. He does, and then he just wants to win the game straight away, but he does not want to play against the Twilight player. Yeah. And certainly he doesn't want to push against the Twilight player on one base, because there's just no sense in doing so.
If NightEnd were sitting back trying to defend his expansion, TT1 could use that Colossus to crush defensive force fields, much like the push we saw him do on the last map. But this isn't the case this time around, and instead we've got NightEnd with a substantial Blink Stalker advantage, 18 Stalkers to 9.
Yeah, but then again, he's going to have 10 Blink Stalkers on his own right now, man. And I feel that's more than enough to at least deal with counterattacks, or like if someone tries to peek in, poke in all the time and then goes for the defensive Blink, you can straight away chase. So in that case, it's not all that bad for TT1. I mean, I like NightEnd's positioning more right now, but he definitely hasn't won the game yet.
Big Blink up into the main base. Might kill a Colossus. TT1, don't you dare Blink on top of that, NightEnd. That would be a big mistake. Instead, he's just going to back up, pick off this pylon, and get the hell out of dodge.
That's pretty good.
TT1's picked off, or NightEnd's picked off another one of TT1's probes, trying to get pylons up around the map. This has happened 5 times now. So I just really want to applaud NightEnd for being so aware.
Well, NightEnd only lost 2 units throughout this entire game. Lost 1 Stalker, I guess. Or
yeah, I guess so.
Or maybe a Zealot and a probe.
Maybe he canceled a pylon, probe and a pylon.
Yeah, it's crazy how few he lost. NightEnd is finally going to expand, but he's going to go for the hidden expand. He wants to make it a little bit harder for TT1. NightEnd is getting charged as well, which I think is very good. I would have loved to see, what I want to say is I would have loved to see TT1 go for an expand, but it's actually very hard to expand against this many Blink Stalkers. Maybe he's going for a Blink right now. TT1's going to chase up. Yes, he does. And
NightEnd just going to blink away. Takes a little bit of damage, but didn't lose anything, actually.
All damage counts, man. It's 56 against 55. And not a Blink right now, but of course he has to be careful as well. Beautiful turnaround by NightEnd straight away. Picks up a Stalker.
And still hasn't lost the unit, so... more good play out of NightEnd, though. TT1's army is looking very scary in a straight-up fight. The Zealots with the Colossus and the Stalkers would hold up against this.
TT1 is having so much trouble getting warp-in pylons around the map. Now, how many Zealots do we have on the map for NightEnd, man? Oh, we're going to have 8 now already. I think by the time we're going to fight, we're going to have 12 charge lots. And that might be able to make the difference. It's going to come close. Army value is a little bit in favor of... yeah, well, it's actually very even. Maybe small favor for NightEnd. But I think, with charge, I think NightEnd's going to be in good shape.
With charge and with good blink control. If NightEnd makes bad blinks, then it's not going to go his way. But with good blinks, I think he's going to be all right. It's also going to depend a lot on whether or not these Zealots can engage on the Colossus or if they're stuck in the back.
I think NightEnd's going to be more than just all right. But he picks up, what did he pick up? The Observer, right? Yep. He does. TT1 in the right now is going to finally get a good scout up. And is he going to spot those Zealots, man? That would be so important. Oh, there's so many Zealots already for NightEnd.
Yeah, he really does have a ton. 16 Zealots, 23 Stalkers against 9 Zealots, 17 Stalkers.
TT1 just cancels that finance straight away, realized that he can't really take that fight. But TT1 doesn't know about this expand over here.
NightEnd has killed 8 probes that have tried to set up pylons. That is substantial. But still, the armies are very comparable, and
nice blink.
Finally, TT1 manages to kill a Stalker.
Almost kills the second one as well. Still very close, nail-biting PvP. Right now, TT1 is going to try to expand as well. He's going to try to get his second Colossus. I think he's going to be fine, but if only TT1 knew about this base, man, because right now, NightEnd is going to mine more for quite a while. But if TT1 is able to camp and get his Colossus count up, I don't mind his position that much anymore, but he's going to have to survive a certain phase of the game.
Yeah, we'll see. And there's also the threat of some multi-pronged aggression as Stalkers can blink up. That's interesting. I don't really see that working.
No, me neither. Maybe just for Archons.
TT1 marching forward once again. I'm really focused on this blob of Zealots at the top of the map. I think he's going to go for a huge flank.
But beautiful blink by TT1. Maybe he gets 2 Stalkers. He got at least 1. He has to be careful right now.
If TT1 overcommits here, he's gonna be sandwiched between a ton of Zealots and all these blink Stalkers.
Best blink either. He's gonna have to drop some really good force fields.
And here we go. Zealots do charge in, but pretty good force fields going down. It's the Stalkers of TT1 that are getting shredded, though. Supply-wise, still pretty close. The Colossi doing a really good job.
He's going to get a lot of free shots up over here with all those Stalkers. Maybe go for 1 blink. TT1, that's exactly what he does. He's not really able to pick off the units.
I think that fight went much better for TT1. If we look at resources lost, he's really closed that gap. It was
what a crazy game.
Heavily in favor of NightEnd. But again, we can see, like,
he has to be so careful, though.
The Stalkers could blink down from behind. Oh, TT1, you might be overextending here. I think this is exactly what NightEnd wants.
But he could drop some force fields for the Zealots.
And there it is. The blink comes down. Zealots charging in. There's not many force fields, and they're zoning out the Stalkers, not the Zealots, and I don't think that's what you want.
I think this is a very good fight for NightEnd. Still so many Stalkers as well for NightEnd. He's going to be able to reinforce a little bit better. But there's still that 1 Colossus as well. TT1 might be able to do it. He is actually doing it.
NightEnd forced to retreat, loses a couple units in the exchange, and I'm surprised that TT1 hasn't, NightEnd hasn't built an Immortal. Now I think he might have actually lost the game there.
I really read that fight wrong, Ben. I thought that was going well for NightEnd, but it didn't seem to be the case. Now TT1 is the one running up this ramp. What is ridiculously weird PvP
I think
series.
NightEnd is lost, but TT1's leaving?
Yeah, there's an observer. Does he still have a... I mean, there's Dark Templar. Does he still have an observer?
Ah, the DT.
And 2 DTs being walked in on the other side of the map as well.
Picking off the observers, and the TT1 trying to chrono boost out. So he's got an observer in his natural, though, so he's going to be fine.
Oh, God.
Well, I say he's going to be fine, but there's no units there.
It's going to hurt, man. He's going to lose a lot of probes, and he's losing a lot of mining. So just when TT1 was going to have the advantage, he's going to lose so many probes.
NightEnd, huge move here. Snipes off the observer and uses these DTs to just obliterate the economy of TT1. But TT1 still has a very strong army.
Why is that? What?
Only 11 probes remain for TT1.
Where's the observer, TT1? There we go. And now TT1 is just going to try to counterattack.
Yeah, he has to win, but
this army is starting to get scary again.
A couple of Mortals are being built. There's going to be a couple Archons as well. This is going to be such a close fight once again. Supply-wise, very even, but the worker count, there's 20 supply difference there.
I'm not sure if TT1 has enough here, Ben.
Oh, it's going to be very close. Archons are done. One more warp in. That's a tough angle to engage from. Archon's in the mix. Stalker's going to blink up onto the Colossus and try to pick it off. TT1 not microing the Colossus. The Colossus will fall, but it's just Archons and Immortals against Stalkers. Well,
yeah, but there's not that many Stalkers anymore. TT1's really not microing this all that well. He's losing a lot of units.
His supply is drastically plummeted. Wow. GG from TT1 and NightEnd twice in a row, snatching victory from certain defeat. Incredible late-game decision-making by NightEnd. I think you can really see just beautiful, beautiful decision-making. Incredible. I think that Korean practice might be paying off a little bit.
That was such a weird series, man. I'm really confused by the way that game went. In the start, I felt it was really good for NightEnd. Then I even felt that one fight was going quite good for NightEnd, because I felt those force fields, exactly what you said. They kind of zoned out the Stalkers, but they were still like able to hit that first Colossus straight away. But maybe those force fields were good, at least to keep the second Colossus alive, because that Colossus did stay alive for a long time.
And TT1 did use some good blinks. Like that first row of Stalkers took damage, and they just blinked back. So
yeah, I guess that helped out really a lot.
Yeah.
And the Colossus was still zapping away on the Zello, so I guess that's kind of what turned the tide in that battle. But then TT1 taking so much damage from those DTs. There was not that much he could have done about that.
I didn't even see the DT warp in, and I was like, he's sniping off observers. Why is he sniping off observers? He needs to be killing these units, and then, oh, there's a DT.
And that saves a lot of time for him. But I really think that TT1, after he lost so many probes, I think, or maybe even before he lost so many probes, the moment he knew there were DTs on the map, he shouldn't have tried to get an observer across the map and then counterattack again. I guess it would have been better to fall back and just rely on your Colossus. He's the one with Colossus tag after all, and Colossus tag is...
He was also up a base. What if he just fell back and sat on 2 base?
Yeah,
like
this was kind of
send the probes to the army, come back.
I mean, NightEnd had an expand too.
Oh, hidden base. Yeah, you're right. Okay.
So it would have been very close, and he would have taken damage either way from the DTs, but I would have loved to see him just fall back, make sure that, like, even send away all the probes. So, okay, you lose a lot of mining time, but you won't lose all those probes. And if you can still fall back on, like, 20, 24 probes, maybe there's still a better chance than he would have gone right now.
Yeah, Colossus tech is still better than basically any other tech once you reach a certain point. So.
And I also think that final battle, as much as I love TT1, I don't think he microed all that well there. He lost the Colossus straight away, and then he lost quite a few Stalkers before he actually started to blink Stalker micro.
Yeah. Well, beautiful play by NightEnd. We really have to commend him there.
Yeah, no doubt.
We're even going to talk to NightEnd after we play this short commercial, guys. That last game brought to you by iBuyPower PCs, the PCs that power the North American Star League. Very, very short commercial, then some words from our winner when we return.